Let's go over these 7 tips to help you escape the poverty trap. Make sure you stay until the very end, where I give my number 1 tip. This tip alone could be a total game changer for you financially. Before I get started with the list, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and click the bell. That way you'll be the first to see my next money-making video. Tip number 7. Learn as much as you can. The truth is that the less you know, the more likely you are going to get taken advantage of. Unfortunately, many schools don't currently provide educational programs in financial literacy. So it's all up to you to learn all you can about money and finances. Education is critical. To begin, it's important that you understand the following: fundamental financial literacy, how to build credit and how credit works, what sort of options you have when it comes to financial institutions and products, and lastly, your rights when it comes to banking and financial products. Here's a more specific example of things you should educate yourself on. If you're looking for a credit card, be sure to understand the annual percentage rates, or APRs. This refers to how much interest you'll be charged if you miss a payment. If you're looking for a loan, be sure you know exactly how much interest you'll pay and other terms, such as the length of the loan and your monthly payments. Lenders are required by law to give you a complete breakdown of the cost of the loan and payment schedules. You should conduct research before purchasing anything. It doesn't matter if it's a pair of shoes or a financial product or service. Do your research. You can prevent yourself from making an expensive mistake by doing your research up front. This allows you to ensure that you receive the best possible price. Saving money where you can is critical for individuals on low incomes. Number 6, make use of community resources. The tools and assistance you'll need to be successful are next on the agenda. That's when your local community's resources may become useful. Do you require financial guidance or more active assistance? Are you having difficulties comprehending your taxes or how to get started investing? Perhaps you have concerns about other aspects of finance where an expert's assistance would be useful. Don't be afraid to reach out for help, whether it's online or in your community. Consider these resources as another method to enhance your financial education. Reading online can be fantastic, but having face-to-face conversations can also be helpful. Here are some places where you can get free or low-cost assistance: nonprofit organizations, public libraries, community centers, and some churches. For taxes specifically, the IRS Tax Assistance Center. Many of these groups provide services to assist you in completing your taxes, learning basic financial literacy, or locating genuine financial solutions that meet your demands. They'll frequently offer courses, have financial speakers, and even give one-on-one counseling. If you have more money to invest in improving your financial situation, you may want to consider a certified financial educator, counselor, or advisor for assistance. Number 5, change your beliefs about money. The most difficult aspect of breaking free from poverty for many low-income people is to alter their mindset regarding money. Your parents' spending habits and teachings may be planted firmly in your mind, strongly influencing your own views on money. Take some time to evaluate where you started and where you are now with your money in order to begin changing your perspective on money. Consider the following questions. How were you taught to view money when you were growing up? What money habits did you get from your parents? What are their financial habits? What makes you spend money? Is it a raise, perhaps? A clearance sale? What kind of thoughts and beliefs do you have about money? What is the value of your assets on paper? How much do you owe in financial obligations? What tiny actions can you take right now to begin shifting these ideas for the better? Stop thinking of yourself as poor. Instead, think of yourself as just in a lower wealth status. You begin to grasp how you can change your financial status when you consider it as a temporary position. To put it another way, you have income mobility. If you make the correct decisions and are clever with your money, you can start climbing up the wealth ladder toward a better financial future. Sometimes just believing that things might improve and that you can alter your fate is quite powerful, so reclaim your financial independence. Number 4, take a look at your credit. Whatever your background, having bad credit might cost you a lot of money over the course of your life. In short, poor credit can result in higher interest rates and restricted borrowing capability. Bad credit can affect you in a lot of ways. In many states, it can affect the sorts of jobs you're able to qualify for. In reality, 72% of businesses now check prospective employees' backgrounds before hiring them, and 29% of those employers do credit checks. The most effective approach to break the cycle of poverty is to establish or repair your credit responsibly. Depending on your unique circumstances, there are numerous methods to begin building or establishing your credit. First, make sure you know what credit is and how your credit score is calculated. Remember, getting your credit rebuilt isn't a quick fix, it's a long-term commitment. But if you take the appropriate measures and handle your credit carefully over time, you may be able to get access to better financial services, purchasing power, and loans, and hopefully even break the cycle of declining wealth. Number 3, talk to someone you trust. When it comes to discussing money with a friend or a loved one, sometimes it might be difficult. However, if you want to improve your finances, obtaining answers from those you trust is one of the greatest methods to help yourself. If you know someone who is good with money, ask if they are willing to share their knowledge and experiences with you. Ask what they did. Inquire about their experience and what worked for them. Ask them about the applications and services that were helpful to them or not. Ask them how they budget their money and how they decide where it should go. You could be shocked at some of the ideas people give you that you didn't think of before. And if you don't know of anyone personally that you can talk to for money advice, Google your questions, read articles, or watch more YouTube videos like this one. This channel alone has a ton of resources that can help you out. I know this kind of falls under the educate yourself category, but the point is, you don't have to go through the financial journey alone. Do your research and learn as much as you can from as many people and resources as you can. Number 2, don't be afraid to walk away. If you have a bad feeling about a financial product or service or something doesn't sound right, don't be frightened to walk away. If a bank or lender is attempting to conceal information or isn't being honest and open, leave. If you believe you're being treated unfairly, go ahead and walk out the door. You have options. Therefore, be sure to discover a financial institution that will treat you fairly. After all, financial institutions profit from your business with them. The least they can do is respect you. This is another case where asking your friends and relatives might be beneficial. Learn about the places where they had a wonderful experience and go there. Remember that you have a lot more alternatives than you may think, so do your homework and discover what's best for you. Before I move on to the number 1 tip, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and click the bell. That way you'll be the first to see my next money-making video. Also, type the word yes in the comments down below if you are going to apply one of these tips in your own life today. Tip number 1, stay away from payday lending. A payday loan may seem like a one-day loan, but the reality is that if you get caught in the cycle of payday lending, you could be paying for it for years to come. In fact, about 12 million Americans borrow cash using a payday loan each year and pay an average of $520 in fees to borrow just $375. I'm not sure about you, but that calculation doesn't make sense to me. The CFPB said that the cost of a payday loan might vary from around $10 to $30 per $100 borrowed. To put it another way, if you take out a 2-week payday loan with a fee of $15 for every $100 borrowed, you would have an APR of about 400%. For some comparison here, when it comes to rates, the APR on credit cards ranges from 12% to 30%. Financial counselor Regina Blackwell says, quote, "Payday loans encourage a cycle of debt thanks to high rates of interest, as well as high repayment installments. In most cases, the client will be unable to repay the debt by the due date. What happens next? Another costly loan is secured to cover the difference," end quote. So why do so many people keep making this same financial mistake? Here are a few possible explanations. They are in an emergency and need cash fast. They don't have access to high-quality, lower-interest loans because they have poor credit or no credit. And lastly, they don't know their other options. Aside from just avoiding payday loans, what's another option to help you break this cycle? Improve your credit. Then, if an emergency arises, you may receive more advantageous personal loans with better loan terms, increasing the likelihood that you'll be able to pay them back. If you're living on a low income, there are certain tactics and techniques that you can put into place so that you can not only survive on a low income, but you can thrive on that low income. Click the video on the screen where I tell you exactly how to do just that. In this video, I'll give you 10 tips on how to survive and thrive on a low income so that you can start enjoying your life and stop stressing about money.